Hello. Hello. Am I audible? Hello.
Now, all the students, please give attention. Today we have Dr. Chirage Paunwala from the SCET College for delivering the expert lecture. I welcome the Tina of the EC department. Dr. Chirage Paunwala is a professor and did his PhD from the NIT Surat. He is also dean of Research and Development Department of the SCET College. He has guided 3 PhD students, 78 publications he has, expertise in the field of image processing, and 2 books also published by Dr. Paunwala. So it is privilege for us that today he is present and agreed on our request to deliver the expert lecture. So it is very much beneficial and gain to the students, and definitely you will learn some new area. Now we know that SSIT and other innovation policies are going on. So where the new area are to be explored. So I welcome again Paunwala sir, and let us start our expert lecture session. Thank you all. Thank you, sir.
Okay, good afternoon. Am I audible?
Yeah.
Okay, generally I will do the movement, but this one. Sorry. અહીંયા જ ઉભા રહીને બોલવું પડશે કે મુવમેન્ટ કરાશું અહીંયા જવું. Okay, so let's start. So my today's discussion is on social topic. Generally, I am working on the societal related problems. And when you are saying that I am going to become an engineer, then obviously you must be beneficial to the society also. And I am at this stage that now if I will do something for society, then there is not an issue. Because I earn and I learn so many things today. Now I am working on this topic, dyslexia. We already heard about dyslexia. We all know, yes. तारे जमीन पर देखिए. Okay, so नहीं देखिए. So already we had seen तारे जमीन पर. Okay, but why dyslexia is important? Why I'm discussing about dyslexia right now? So just recall that movie. I have to stay over here. So just recall that movie. Ishan. Ishan was also not aware. Obviously, he was child. His parents were also not aware. Though his child was suffering from the issue, his teachers were also not aware. Though they were teaching since long, they were experienced teachers. Only one person can able to identify, because Obviously, he was hero in the film, and he was saying that I was also dyslexic when I was child, and hence hero was able to identify. So सबके लिए तो आमिर खान होता नहीं है, ठीक है? So many students can able to identify this thing once they will have the societal problems. Once they will go into the secondary school or higher secondary school, at that time they can able to identify about this issue. Till date, they were not able to identify because generally in our schooling system also, we are not able to recognize the poor students. We are always concentrating on the bright students. Few institutes are there, few schools are there, those who are working right now on this particular issue. But they are doing the psychological test. And based on the psychological test, they are able to identify that student has dyslexia or not. One of them is Reliance Foundation in Surat. But for psychological test, generally, students' age must be about 12 years or 13 years, like that. Because for psychology, to get the correct result, they must be matured enough. But when they are student of the young age of around 8 to 10 years, they are not able to identify correctly about this disease. So what we are trying to do, myself with my one of the PhD student, Sankar Parmar. So what we are trying to do, we are capturing the brain signals. We are capturing the brain signal. You are studying the signal processing. Dharmesh sir told me that basically you are studying DSP topic and the DIVP topic. So signal and image processing related topic is better for you for today's discussion. And hence I choose this topic. Theory तो आपके क्लास में आपके फैकल्टीज बहुत अच्छा पढ़ाते हैं. So I am planning to take this application that based on your study, if you are able to contribute on any type of this application, then today's discussion is fruitful. So what we are doing, we are measuring the EEG signal based on the task that what they are doing. Okay, and now I am going to start about that thing. So conventional dyslexia detection techniques. As I told you, psychological test is the conventional technique. So these are the some of the conventional techniques. That is Wechsler individual achievement test, comprehensive test of phonological processing, oral and written language scales, and Woodcock-Johnson test. These are 4 tests. And out of these 4, I have highlighted Woodcock-Johnson test. All these are the psychological tests. Now what we are doing, we are identifying one of the base technique. And with the help of this test, we are adding our test. We are adding our test so that both the things can be done simultaneously, and we can have idea that whether psychological test is saying the psychological test, the answer is correct or not based on our analysis. Okay, so why this topic is very important? So here you can see we are not aware about the dyslexia because brain related disease are not too much openly discussed. किसी को एपिलेप्सी है, मैं पूछूंगा किसको है, होगा तो भी हाथ खड़ा नहीं करेगा. किसको डिप्रेशन है, पूछूंगा तो भी कोई हाथ नहीं खड़ा करेगा. क्यों? बिकॉज वी आर थिंकिंग दैट यार ये ओपन में डिस्कस नहीं कर सकते. बट These are the figures that I'm sharing with you right now, are the discussed in open forum, and treatment is going on in particular. Uh, this is in this on this particular persons. So in USA, 30 million, Canada, 3 million, UK, 6 million. In India, 15% of population is suffering from this disease. And on the top, it is mentioned that 15% of total population in world is suffering from this disease. And hence, study of this disease is important. One important thing and eye-opening thing. As per the survey, 50% of prisoners, 50, in Indian jails are suffering from this disease. Why? Because there is no such concentration is given on that particular guys, and hence they are going into the wrong direction. So this is not my saying. This is the saying of one of the thesis of reputed professor. Okay. Now, various tasks for generation of data set. For any problem, we must have accurate data set. If here 100 students are sitting and none of you are dyslexic, and I am taking record of all 100 students, and I am trying to identify the solution of problem, then I am wrong. Because all 100 students are non-dyslexic. So what I have to do? I must have balanced data set. I must have balanced data set. So which type of the data set we have to generate and how to generate? So first way to generate the data set or the first task is auditory oddball task. Okay, these are some technical names. Don't go in the depth of the technical names. Just understand the technique. It's too much interesting if you understand that which technique we are using. It's just like a gaming that what we are using to generate the data set. So here you can see that after three steps, fourth step is different. Fourth shape is different. It's a sphere, fourth shape. And again, the shape is continuous of the first one. Now, what target has to identify or what subject has to identify? It is known as the oddball task. Oddball means odd image is coming. Odd image is coming and subject has to identify that odd image quickly. If your brain is going fast, then you will quickly able to identify that particular change in the pattern. But if your brain is slow, then you will take time or your brain waves will suddenly change the amplitude. Otherwise, normally you will, if no normal student is there, then it is just like a playing of the game. There is no sudden spike in the brain signal. So that sudden spike we are interested to identify. So what we are doing, our subject has to wear this cap. We have this cap available with us. So they have to wear this cap and we are doing this task for them. And they have to press the key only. They have to press the key. And based on that, their EEG signal, electroencephalogram signal, is changed. And we are able to do the analysis based on the signal processing. Then after we are doing the Fourier transform, picture extraction, and all that stuff. That regular stuff that what you are doing in your DSP subject. So generally, all this thing I am relating because you have to finally, when you are studying the subject, you can finally relate my work with your subject. Here you can see that n back test or n back task. So here you can observe that random letters are coming. Random letters are coming, but as the name suggests, one back means after this F, again there is an F, letter F. Means after one letter F, I am repeating that letter F. Then after again some random letter, then again P and then P. It's not like that. Always F is coming. Some other letter will come, but repeatedly after that letter, the same letter must become. The same letter must be there. Then they have to press the key. Then they have to press the key. And it is not like that, that after one miss, there is a secure chance that second will be sure short answer. It is not like that. It is again randomly. So here you can see that after two miss, there is a one back. Here you can see that after one miss, there is a one back. And here you can see that after several miss, there is a two back. Okay, so they have to press this key, and based on that, we are doing the analysis. Second one is the special embed task. So this special means it's based on the image. So based on the image, the repetition of the image at the same location. When there is a repetition of image at the same location, they have to press the key. Else they have to skip that part. Okay, now a few standard data sets are there. So always remember, when you are working for any problem and when you are designing your own data set, then also people will ask or the community will ask that are you comparing your work with the standard data set? And if your answer is no, your work will not be accepted. If you are saying that I am topper in my institute, in my class, it is okay. You are topper in your class. But when you are appearing for the gate, it is not true that you will be topper. So similarly, when you are comparing your result with the data set, you can have idea that where are you standing, means where are your results standing. So hence, we have used standard data sets also. So we are generating our own data set and we are using the standard data set also. So in this case, you can see that in the standard data set also, we are using the data set of 4 countries. Why? Why 4 countries? Because all are the countries of different language origin. All are not the country of the English origin. So we want to identify the nature of the people based on their mother tongue. Okay, here you can see that data set is also balanced. 51-46. It should not be inclined towards either dyslexic student or the normal student. It should be balanced. Second thing you must observe that male and female are also equal. Almost. Okay. Third thing you can observe right-handed and left-handed. Obviously, left-handed students are very less. So we are not able to identify too much reading. But one study told us that left-handed students are suffering from dyslexia. Majority left-handed students are suffering from dyslexia, but still it is not proved. It is just a theory. It's just a theory. Okay. And this one is the ambidextrous. Ambidextrous means 3 idiots. दोनों हाथ से लिखता है वो कौन था वो virus. So there are few cases also, those who can write with both the hands. I'm not saying that he or she is dyslexic. Okay, I'm going slightly faster. So this is the size of the data set based on the language and the speech or non-speech stimuli. Okay, my second data set consists of, this is also standard data set. You can find it from the literature. Last benches. So second data set is consisting of 53 primary students, and here age is mentioned 7 to 12 years, because for us age is very important. We want early detection, as I have mentioned in my title. So age is very important. Age निकल जाती है, then there is no meaning to identify whether the student is dyslexic or not. Out of that 53, 29 are dyslexic and 24 are normal. And in that data set, total they did for the types of the test. 3-minute NBAC test, that is cognitive test. Cognitive means related to brain. 3-minute spatial NBAC test and 7-minute visual audible cognitive test. So these 3 tests were done. Okay, next one is electroencephalogram. That is the full form of EEG. Electroencephalogram on 10-20 electrode system. 10-20 electrode system means, I think that many of you are not aware about the EEG, but many of us are aware about the ECG. In ECG, we are placing the electrode. We are means doctors are placing the electrodes on our body, and based on the electrodes, the signals are captured, and that doctor then can tell us that what is the rhythm of our heart. Similarly, over here, we have to place electrode on our skull, and that readings of brain signals. Brain signals are also in terms of the millivolt. So that signals we have to capture. And as it is 10-20 means the location between two electrodes are 10% or 20% between the distance, as per the distance. Okay, and you can observe that on the right side, all the electrodes are numbering with the even number. On the left side, it is on, and on the center, it is 0. Okay. Now, every process has similar, almost similar flowchart, except deep learning. Many of you are interested in working with the deep learning. I can also do my work in the deep learning for this. But why we are not working in the deep learning? Because deep learning, कितनों को पता है deep learning क्या है? How many of you are aware about deep learning? No one. You are aware. Okay, so deep learning is data hungry. That's what generally people are saying. It requires a lot of data. If we have small amount of the data set, it will not work. And hence, we have to follow the conventional machine learning algorithms. Machine learning हम लोग study कर रहे हैं. 7th sem में है. ठीक है? So machine learning algorithms we have to study. So we are using right now SVM. Generally, SVM is there. K nearest neighborhood is there. Decision tree is there. So these are some of the machine learning algorithms. So always when you have data set, when you are capturing the data, we have raw data. We have raw data. And that data we have to process. We have to process. Processing means, pre-processing means we have to remove the noise. We have to remove the noise. If last benches are doing some murmuring when I am taking the lecture, then that is noise for me. Okay. So I have to remove that noise. So for removing the noise, I have to apply some filters. Then after that filters are ICA, using ICA means independent component analysis or principal component analysis using EEG lab. There is a software named EEG lab in the MATLAB. That is a toolbox. So using this toolbox, we remove some of the noise. Then after next task is the feature extraction, extracting the features from the data. Suppose you have to recognize the face. You have to recognize the face. Then face means you are not capturing my face and you are comparing the face. It's not like that. You are extracting features. There are some features near my eyebrow, near my eyes, near my lips. So we have to extract that features. And that feature, we have to compare with the features stored in the data set. Okay, so that feature extraction is the next task. Then after, there are plenty of the features. So if for recognition of the face, if I have the 1,000 features, and if I'm using all the 1,000 features for recognition of the face, then what happens? Recognition can be very good. Can be very good. I'm using word can be. But it will take too much time. Because 1,000 features of the training or the data set and the feature that you are giving are comparing with them, each other. But out of 1,000, if I am taking 10% of the features, then it is best. So the next one is the feature selection. So I have to identify 10% of the best features. And that 10% of the best features, I have to just pass to the system. System means machine. That means classifier. That is SVM. मैं अभी SVM का ही नाम बोलूंगा क्योंकि SVM is generally we are using. Okay. Okay, so pre-processing I have explained you that bandpass filter. We have used notch filter to remove the line noise, independent component analysis, and that after this is also one type of the pre-processing that we made the segment of 1 second each. We made the segment of 1 second, and I am saying that stationary signal analysis आप पढ़ रहे हो BSP में. So that 1 second I am saying that it's a stationary signal, and I am extracting the features for that 1 second. Okay, so continuously EEG signal is coming, but I am capturing 1 second signal and doing the analysis. Then again 1 second signal, then doing the analysis. Okay, for feature extraction, as I told you, we have to transform the input data into the set of features. I gave you the example of particularly face recognition system. And it is also helpful to analyze data in terms of the reduced set of the features. So there are so many techniques. All these techniques you are aware. You already studied many of these in your DSP topic. Power spectral density, entropy, and up to almost all techniques except last one. Except last one. That is something new. Horth parameter. J is silent. Horth parameters. And we use this one. देखिए, आप जब रिसर्च कर रहे हो ना, you have to work on all the things. You have to work on all the aspects. How can I come to this conclusion that I have to work on the Horth parameters? I already worked on these topics. And based on the results, I came to the point that I have to work on the Horth parameters. So only result is not matter. Only result is not matter, but computational complexity also matters. Computational complexity means how much time it requires. Okay, so next one is that about horse parameter, why we use this one. So you know that DSP subject, digital signal processing. You are converting time domain signal into the frequency domain. You are converting time domain into frequency domain. Why? Why? Because some of the features, some of the parameters of the signal is not able to give the correct result when we are working in the time domain. But when it is in the frequency domain, it gives the better result. So what we have to do? We have to do the DFT. We are working on this. We are working on the coefficients. We are removing the unwanted coefficients. And by keeping the wanted coefficients, we are again converting it to the IFFT, or we are doing the IDFT. So inverse Fourier transform also we have to do. So Fourier transform, analysis, inverse Fourier transform, and then we are getting our signal back. So this is the tedious process, and this tedious process is computationally complex. So if we are able to get advantage of time domain and frequency domain both without converting the signal into frequency domain, then that is the best choice. Getting me what I want to say? Time domain has also advantages. हम image enhancement पढ़ रहे हैं time domain में, means spatial domain में, chapter number 3 of Gonzalez. We are studying the image enhancement in frequency domain, that is chapter number 4. Why two different chapters? Because both chapters or both the techniques have advantages. So similarly, horse parameters are working in the time domain, but the answer it gives in both the time domain and frequency domain. So without going into the frequency domain, we are getting the effect of frequency domain. So hence it is mentioned that it provides bridge between time domain interpretation and the conventional frequency domain description. Slightly technical, but I am skipping this technical part. So horse activity. So there are three parameters in horse. First is the activity. Activity is nothing but the variance that we are measuring of the signal. E of t is what? What is E of t? What is E of t? Brain signal. EEG signal. जो हमारे पास आया है ना, the features that we are extracting, that EEG signal. So that is what the E of t. What we are doing, we are measuring the variance of that EEG signal. देखिए मैं EEG signal बोल रहा हूँ, इसके जगह EEG word निकाल दूंगा and signal, then it is a DSP. Then it is just a DSP. You have any signal and you are identifying the variance of that signal. That's all. So it will give you the signal power and energy of the signal in the time domain. Signal power also it gives, and the energy of the signal also we can say. And horse mobility, it finds the slope or the standard deviation. In image processing, you studied about that edges. In edges, what is the meaning of edge? When we are taking the derivative, then we are able to identify the edges. Okay, so similarly here, if we want to identify the discontinuity, discontinuity means just like edges. Last one is complexity. So here we are taking the help of the mobility, means derivative of signal and the signal itself. Okay, now we have to start feature reduction also. Feature extraction is done with the help of horse parameter. Now feature reduction. Okay, I told that I gave you the example of the face recognition system. Suppose I have 100 features and I want to extract 10% of the 100 features, means 10 features. Then what I have to do? I can't choose 10 features randomly. I can't choose 10 features randomly. So I have to start the process. I have to start the thinking process that how to identify the best 10 features. Okay, so channel grouping. Okay, now onwards the topic is very interesting. पहले भी interesting ही था. Okay, so we have to reduce the electrodes. I told you that electrodes are placed in such a manner that entire skull is covered. So it's a 10-20% electrode system. But it gives so many signals. If you have observed each signal of any patient, then you can able to identify it's a big file. It's a big file. There are so many EEG spectrums, EEG signals. So we have to reduce the number of electrodes, but we can't do randomly, as I told you. So as it is mentioned in the red font, we want to reduce complexity and we want to increase the accuracy, both the things. So what we have to do? You are aware about this thing. Human brain is divided into two parts. First part is the left brain. Left brain has different tasks. Right brain has different tasks. Okay. Now, left brain has associated electrodes. When I'm using the cap, then cap has these numbers of electrode. C3, CP5, F3, F7. You can see that all the odd numbers of electrodes are there. So that are associated with the left brain. I have explained you in the one of the PPT. Similarly, for the right brain, all are these electrodes related to the right brain. Okay. So now these are the electrodes for left and the right. Now you can observe the 5 lobes of the brain. Brain is again divided in the 5 different parts. And each and every lobe has different tasks. Suppose frontal lobe. Frontal lobe is basically used for planning, decision making, and speech. यहाँ पे tumor है, we have tumor over here, then we have issue in this part. We are not able to speak correctly. Okay, so frontal lobe has electrodes associated like this: F3, F4, F7, F8, like this. Okay, similarly, sensory means sensing, vision, monitoring. So these are the 5 lobes. Oh, sorry, 4. Sorry. So these are the 4 lobes, and out of this 4, okay, I am considering this also as a lobe, but it's a notch. So out of this 5, many electrodes are repeated. So what I have to do? We did this analysis. Left hemisphere, right hemisphere, center region, and then after all the lobes. So out of these 5 lobes and this one, I found the common electrodes. And I used that common electrodes only. Any doubt up to this point, or anyone wants to discuss? So always talk is like that. 45 minutes discussion, 45 minutes talk, 15 minutes discussion. तो अगर मैं 45 मिनट्स बोल रहा हूँ तो 15 मिनट आपको बोलना है या तो आपको मुझे पूछना है, ठीक है? तो ऐसा टॉक होता है. चलिए, तो नेक्स्ट वन इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट, फीचर सिलेक्शन. फीचर सिलेक्शन, एज आई टोल्ड यू 10%. तो एक पार्ट तो मैंने आपको एक्सप्लेन किया, दैट वन इज व्हाट आई एक्सप्लेन यू, how to reduce the knobs. Okay, so how to reduce that part, and then after how to reduce the features. Okay, as it is mentioned, there are thousands to millions of low level features, and we want to select the most relevant one to build better, faster, and easier to understand learning mechanism. Better, faster, and easier to understand. So there are 2 techniques: minimal optimal, and the second one is relevant. So here you can see, this is very famous diagram. There are so many features. Assume that these are the features of a face. So outside there are the useless features. Then after redundant features. Then after relevant features. And this indicates the all relevant features. So this green circle indicates all relevant features. This yellow circle indicates the minimal optimal subset. Which one is important? Who will tell me? Out of these three circles, 1, 2, 3, which one is important? Outer one or inner one? Inner one, because it gives the minimum features. And it's mentioned that minimal optimal subset. It mentioned that. And this circle, intermediate circle, gives the important features, but these are the redundant features. Redundant means almost similar. Almost similar. So you can skip it. If I am teaching you image processing and someone is also coming to teach you image processing in the same topic, आप क्या करोगे? एक क्लास बंक कर देते हैं, एक सर में तो सीख लिया हमने, दूसरा बंक करते हैं. That is what the redundant part. ठीक है? तो redundancy हमें remove करनी है. So it's a minimal optimal. And all relevant means जाके बैठ जाओ ना क्लास में, कुछ भी पढ़ाएगा. It's all relevant. So we are avoiding the all relevant. We want to avoid. Okay. So now we are coming to the technique. This is very important technique. Maximum relevance, minimum redundancy, MR. Intentionally, first M is small. Okay, and this technique was established or innovated in 2007 or before that. But Uber has started this technique in 2020. So one of the engineers or the research team engineer of Uber used this technique to minimize the search, and getting the maximum optimized result. And hence, its name is maximum relevance, minimal redundancy. So the technique was mainly come into the light when Uber has started to use it. So it's not like that some technique was established in 1980 or 1990 is not useful for you. But if your application is related to that, you can modify it. So now I'm explaining you MR in a very innovative way. I'm not going in the depth of the maths of the MR, but we use this technique successfully in our application also. So maximum relevance, minimum redundancy is so called because at each iteration, what is iteration? Means we have to find out the important features after each and every process. We want to select the feature that has maximum relevance with respect to the target. Maximum relevance with respect to the target and minimum redundancy with respect to the features. Same feature nahi aana chahiye. That have been selected at previous iterations. Okay. चलिए मैं अभी ये स्लाइड यस आई एम कमिंग टू दिस स्लाइड ये आज ही मैंने ऐड किया. आई एम स्किपिंग द मैथ्स पार्ट. I want to identify the salary of a person. I want to identify the salary of the person. There are plenty of parameters. IQ of the person, जिसकी मुझे सैलरी फाइंड करनी है. IQ of the mother, जिसकी सैलरी मुझे फाइंड करनी है उसके मदर की IQ. Father's IQ, age, height, पेरेंट्स हाइट. और इसमें 2-3 पैरामीटर और ऐड कर देते हैं. एज ऑफ स्पाउस. चलिए आप मुझे बताइए ये पैरामीटर्स है तो विच पैरामीटर इज ऑफ द मोस्ट इंपोर्टेंट. मैंने आंसर तो यहाँ पे लिख ही दिया है वैसे तो. बट व्हेन आई एम सेइंग यू that which parameter is important, for identifying the salary. Which one is the most important? IQ is very important, first of all. If you have good IQ, you must have, or you should have, must नहीं use करना चाहिए. You should have good salary. Okay, so when your IQ is good, you must have good salary. Then after, as per the process, that is the K nearest neighbor, K based features they have identified. So next parameter came was mother's IQ. Third parameter was came, that is the father's IQ. देखिए आप 74%, 42% and 40%. Means parents का IQ भी आपकी salary के साथ link है. Parents का IQ भी आपकी salary के साथ link है. ठीक है. And then after it comes to the age and height. लेकिन that is but obvious that you are byproduct of your parents, means your IQ is also the byproduct of your parents' IQ. So we don't want to take the similar feature. So what MRMR will do? It will remove the similar feature. Means it will remove the parents' IQ. Because once IQ, your IQ is there with the 74% matching, then it will remove the other two parameters. Then after, obviously age, because at the age of 25, my salary was different, and at the age of 45, my salary is different. So age is an important criteria. And third one is the height. Height is not an important criteria. Is our salary decided based on the height? No. In my profession, it is no. Yeah, but if I am in the film industry, yeah, it may be. But right now, it is not based on the height. So height is actually not the criteria. But why here height is there? Because I gave 3 parameters to the system, to the machine. That I have total 8 parameters, and you have to find out 3 base parameters. So what machine will do? Machine told me that आपने तो मुझे बोला था ये parameters है तो मैं आपको height भी दूंगा. ठीक है? If I give k equal to 2, then machine gave me IQ and age only. So there is a difference between base k features. Base k features means k is 3 over here. So base 3 features are IQ, age, and height. And 3 base feature is a different. 3 base features means are based on the percentage. So you have to work for base 3 features. If I am choosing k equal to 2, then I must have IQ and age. And this way, we had reduced our work. And this is the result that what we got. We have reduced to 10% of the total our features using MRMR technique. And this work is going to publish in the next conference of Indicon. Okay, now last part. Classifier. We used classifier, that is the SVM, support vector machine. And in the support vector machine also, you are aware that linear and the non-linear. So we use the non-linear kernels. And there are 3 kernels, polynomial, Gaussian, and sigmoid. And, sorry. So parameters need to choose are P, sigma, and K. These are very important things. Otherwise, each and everything you can fix in the software. But this thing you have to work out. And based on this thing, your final classification result will be there. So now I'm sharing some results with you. Support vector machine I am not going to discuss today in detail because it is part of your syllabus also. Simulation results. So when we choose all the channels, then we got the 62% of accuracy, and specificity we got around 92%. Now, accuracy is very important thing. Accuracy is very important thing because in any medical analysis, if your accuracy is less, then that system is bogus. We can't work with that system. It's useless. So here we try to use we try to make the system with the best accuracy. So here it's a results without feature selection. Okay, I told you that why feature selection is important. So results without feature selection, we are getting the 60%, that is the best result. And after with feature selection, we got the 81%. So if we are doing the correct features, if we are identifying the correct features using MR technique, results are drastically increased. And here we are using the non-speech stimuli, speech and the non-speech, because we are having two types of the analysis, speech analysis and non-speech analysis. So results without feature selection for speech stimuli. जो पहले वाले थे results that were for the non-speech. Now it is for the speech and without feature selection. So results were around the same 60%. And results with feature selection, we are getting around 78% for speech stimuli. So for speech, we are getting around 78% accuracy. And for non-speech, we are getting around 81% accuracy. But when we are combining the results, we got around 90%. We got around 90% of the result. And our work was appreciated by government of Gujarat also, and we got Innovative Impact Award for this particular work. So Gujarat government is also interested for this particular dyslexic system, automatic dyslexic system. So we are trying to work in that direction only. Okay, so thanks. That's all from my end. Any query, then you can ask. These are my email IDs. You can contact me. Just give the reference that we are from GEC Surat.
Any question from your side, then you can ask. Regarding signal processing, video processing, or machine learning.
Okay, if we don't have any question right now, you can mail me also. Not an issue.
Very good.
It was a good and interesting session. On behalf of our department and our institute, I would like to thank Chirag sir. Thank you very much. And hope that whenever we give a topic of each field, we will be able to guide all of us. Thank you very much.